this. Okay, so basically cos the minus a, cos of minus a is equal to cos of a, because the cos in that quadrant is positive, and minus a, that's where it sits in quadrant 4, that's minus a. If it was sine of minus a, that's equal to minus sine of a, and tan of minus a, that's equal to minus tan of a. When you have the inverse functions, that should be minus 1, no, positive. When you have the inverse function, sine the minus 1 of minus a is minus sine the minus 1 of a, because it is odd. And cos the minus 1 of minus a is actually 180 minus cos the minus 1 of a. Whereas tan the minus 1 of a is also odd, so that's equal to minus tan the minus 1 of a. Okay, so just applying that here, that means you can just make that sine the minus 1 of cos of pi on 4, because minus pi on 4 is in the fourth quadrant, because it's going that way, minus pi on 4, and cos is positive in that quadrant. So it's sine the minus 1 of cos of pi on 4 is cos of 45, which is 1 on root 2. Shift sine on 1 on root 2, and you end up with 45. A cos of 2 sine the minus 1 of minus 1 on 8. So that's cos of minus 2 sine the minus 1 of 1 on 8. Okay, and alright, so that will be like having cos of minus 2. Now let alpha equals sine the minus 1 of 1 on 8. Just removes the negative sign so you don't have to worry about quadrants. So that's minus 2 alpha. So sine of alpha is 1 on 8. And from that you can then draw your triangles. So the sine is opposite on hypotenuse. So there's alpha, so that's opposite on hypotenuse. So this would be 1 on 8. So by Pythagoras, that would be 8 squared minus 1 squared, which is 63. So the adjacent side ends up being root 63. So now you've got cos of minus 2 alpha will just be cos of alpha because of this rule up here, which is equal to, now you can put it in terms of cos n sine, or you could do the 2 cos squared alpha minus 1, or you could do the 1 minus sine squared alpha. Okay. So I think I'm going to go with the 1 minus 2 sine squared alpha. So that makes life a little bit easier. So I've got sine squared is equal to 1 on 8. So it's 1 on 8 squared, which is 1 minus 2 times 1 on 64, which is 1 minus 1 on 32, which is 32 minus 1 on 32, which in the end ends up being 31 on 32. Okay, so looking at this one, tan the minus 1 of minus alpha is equal to minus tan the minus 1 of alpha. That I'm just checking this, that doesn't have anything there. Okay, so that's equal to sine of minus 2 alpha, because this part here is just equal to alpha. So that's going to be tan the minus 1 of minus alpha. So, sorry, that shouldn't be alpha there, that should be a half. So it's minus tan the minus 1 of a half. Okay, so that means that tan, take this minus, I'll just redo this one a bit better. Okay, let what we'll do first of all is we'll take the minus out. So 2 tan the minus 1 over half, and then let alpha equal tan the minus 1 over half. So therefore, we're after sine of minus 2 alpha. Now because tan alpha equals a half, that's how you can draw your triangle up. So that's half, adjacent, opposite on adjacent. So it's 1 on 2. That one's root 5. So this is going to be 2. Actually, you can take that minus out the front. So it's minus sine 2 alpha, which is minus 2 sine alpha, cos alpha, which is minus 2. Sine alpha is 1 on root 5. Cos alpha is 2 on root 5. So it ends up being minus 4 on 5. That's what I get as my answer. Okay, so this one's very similar. So sine of minus 2, tan the minus 1 of 1 on 5. Let alpha equal tan the minus 1 over 1 on 5. So it's sine of minus 2 alpha, which is equal to minus sine 2 alpha, which is minus 2 sine alpha cos alpha. Now from here, tan alpha is 1 on 5. So that's 1 on 5, and this would be root 26. So it's minus 2 times 5 on root 26 times 1 on root 26, which is 10 on 26, or 5 on 13. Okay, so let's go cos sine the minus 1 of 1 on 5 plus cos the minus 1 of 2 on 3. Okay, so if we let alpha equal sine the minus 1 of 1/5, then sine alpha is 1/5. So that'll be root 24 by Pythagoras. And cos the minus 1 of 2/3, we'll let that be beta. So cos beta is 2/3. So it's beta 2/3, so that'll be root 5. Okay, so this is cos alpha plus beta, which is cos alpha cos beta plus sine alpha sine beta. Cos alpha will be root 24 on 5 times cos beta 2/3 plus sine alpha 1 on 5 and sine beta root 5 on 3. So root 24, which is 2 root 6, times 4 is 4 root 6 plus root 5 all over